Liam Payne's family, friends, and former bandmates united in grief on a brisk Wednesday morning in Amersham, a quaint English town, to pay their final respects to the beloved singer. It was a moment of profound sorrow for those closest to Payne, a man whose life had captivated millions around the world. Just 31 years old at the time of his death, Payne left behind a legacy that would forever be remembered, not just as a member of one of the most iconic boy bands in music history, but as an individual who wore his heart on his sleeve. Picturesque Flintstone Church, surrounded by an air of quiet solemnity, became a sanctuary for the mourners who gathered to honor Payne's memory. His casket, a dark blue hue symbolic of both dignity and melancholy, was transported in a horse-drawn carriage adorned with floral tributes. The delicate arrangements, one reading Son and the other Daddy, encapsulated the roles Payne cherished most. The sight of the carriage, its elegance juxtaposed against the crushing reality of the occasion, stirred emotions in everyone present. His parents, visibly shaken, stood near the entrance, Payne's mother clutching a tissue as tears streamed down her face. The rawness of her grief was a stark reminder of the irreplaceable void her son's absence had created. Among the mourners were Payne's former bandmates, Zayn Malik, Harry Styles, Niall Horan, and Louis Tomlinson, whose presence symbolized a reunion under the most tragic of circumstances. For years, fans had speculated about the possibility of One Direction reuniting on stage, their dreams fueled by nostalgia and the hope of reliving a chapter that defined their youth. But instead of sharing a spotlight, the bandmates found themselves united in mourning, each man carrying the weight of their shared history and the complexities of their relationship with Payne. Simon Cowell, the mastermind behind One Direction's meteoric rise, was also in attendance. Known for his sharp wit and unflinching demeanor on The X Factor, Cowell displayed a rare vulnerability as he consoled Payne's parents. His role in Payne's journey from an aspiring teenager to a global superstar was undeniable, and his presence added a layer of poignancy to the day. Cowell had seen the band through their early struggles and triumphant peaks, and now, he bore witness to one of its most heartbreaking moments. Payne's journey was the stuff of dreams and cautionary tales. As a 16-year-old contestant on The X Factor, he had shown remarkable promise, his vocal talent shining through even in the show's highly competitive environment. When Cowell and his team decided to form a band with Payne, Styles, Horan, Tomlinson, and Malik, they likely couldn't have predicted the global phenomenon that would follow. One Direction was more than a band, it was a cultural juggernaut, a force that defined the 2010s and redefined what it meant to be a boy band. The group's rise was meteoric. Within months of their formation, they had amassed a fan base so fervent it often evoked comparisons to Beatlemania. Their debut album, Up All Night, topped charts worldwide, launching them into a whirlwind of fame, success, and relentless touring. Payne, with his charismatic stage presence and velvety voice, became a cornerstone of the group's appeal. Songs like What Makes You Beautiful and Little Things showcased his vocal prowess, endearing him to millions of fans. Yet, fame came at a cost. The relentless schedule and pressure to maintain a flawless public image took their toll on Payne and his bandmates. While they presented a united front to the world, behind the scenes, tensions simmered. Malik's departure in 2015 was a turning point, marking the beginning of the band's eventual hiatus. For Payne, the split was both an opportunity and a challenge. He embarked on a solo career, achieving moderate success with singles like Strip That Down and collaborations with artists such as Rita Ora. However, the transition from band member to solo artist was fraught with difficulties, both personal and professional. Payne's struggles with mental health and substance abuse became increasingly apparent in the years following One Direction's hiatus. In interviews, he spoke candidly about the pressures he faced during his time with the band and the coping mechanisms he turned to, many of which were self-destructive. By 2023, he had completed a stint in a U.S. rehab facility and celebrated 6 months of sobriety, a milestone he shared with his fans, who rallied around him with messages of support. Seemed for a time that Payne was on the path to recovery. But the fragility of his progress became heartbreakingly clear on October 16, 2024, when news broke of his death in Buenos Aires. According to reports from the Argentine Public Prosecutor's Office, Payne had alcohol, cocaine, and a prescription antidepressant in his system at the time of his death. The circumstances surrounding his fall from a hotel balcony were under investigation, with 3 individuals facing preliminary charges. For his fans, the details of his passing were secondary to the grief of losing an artist who had meant so much to them. The days leading up to Payne's funeral were marked by an outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and fellow musicians. Social media became a space for collective mourning, with fans sharing memories of concerts, lyrics that resonated with them, and photos of Payne's warm smile. His former bandmates released a joint statement describing Payne as their brother and pledging to treasure the memories they shared with him. Their words echoed the sentiments of millions who had followed the band's journey from its inception. The funeral itself was a deeply personal affair, its details kept under wraps until the morning of the service. Amersham, with its picturesque streets and timeless charm, became a focal point for fans and media alike. Locals spoke of Payne's connection to the area. He had owned a house nearby, as had his former partner Cheryl Tweedy, the mother of their son Bear. Tweedy attended the service alongside her former Girls Aloud bandmates, Kimberly Walsh and Nicola Roberts, who offered their support during this difficult time. As the service concluded and the mourners began to disperse, the churchyard stood as a silent witness to the depth of Payne's impact. His bandmates, each processing their grief in their own way, were among the last to leave. Tiles, who had been the first to arrive, lingered in quiet reflection before departing with James Corden. Tomlinson, Malik, and Horan followed, their faces somber as they navigated the sea of cameras waiting outside. For Payne's fans, the funeral was both a moment of closure and a reminder of the loss they felt so deeply. Many had grown up with his music, finding solace in his lyrics and inspiration in his journey. Some, like Victoria Horwood, spoke of the personal impact Payne's work had on their lives. Horwood, who drove past Payne's house daily, described how his music had helped her through difficult times. Others, like Alice Chapman, attended the service to show support for Payne's family and to honor his memory. Liam Payne's story is one of triumph and tragedy, a reflection of the dualities inherent in fame. He achieved what few could even dream of, leaving an indelible mark on the music industry and the hearts of his fans. Yet, he also faced struggles that many could relate to, reminding the world of the human cost of stardom. His death is a poignant reminder of the importance of compassion, understanding, and the need for open conversations about mental health. As the world continues to mourn his passing, Payne's legacy endures. His music, his charisma, and his authenticity will remain etched in the memories of those who knew him both personally and through his work. And while his journey was tragically cut short, the impact he made in his 31 years will be felt for generations to come.